Welcome to the channel. If you've been studying English for months, maybe even years, and you still freeze the moment someone asks you a simple question, this one's for you. Stay until the end. Because the idea I'm about to share is the exact reason most learners stay stuck at the same level for years, while others jump ahead in just a few months. Here's a question for you. Have you ever met someone who knows less grammar than you, fewer words than you, and still speaks more comfortably than you? It feels unfair, right? But there's a simple reason behind it. And once you understand it, everything changes. That person didn't wait to feel ready. They just started talking, badly at first, and let the skill catch up later. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can do the same thing, step by step, starting today. Part 1. Stop preparing. Start doing. Most learners treat English like an exam they need to pass before they're allowed to speak. Study more grammar. Learn more words. Watch more videos. Then, one day, when everything feels perfect, they'll finally open their mouth. But that day never comes. Because language doesn't work like a test you pass once. It works like a muscle. You build it slowly, through repeated use. Think about someone learning to swim. They can't learn by reading about swimming. They can't learn by watching swimmers for a year. At some point, they have to get in the water. And yes, they'll swallow some water. And yes, it'll feel uncomfortable. But that discomfort is exactly what builds the skill. English works the same way. You don't become comfortable and then start speaking. You start speaking, and comfort slowly grows from that. If you're waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever, because readiness isn't a feeling that arrives before action. It's a result that arrives after action. So here's your first shift in thinking. Stop asking, when will I be ready to speak? Start asking, what can I say right now, with what I already know? Part 2. Build a bridge between English and your ordinary day. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is keeping English locked inside a textbook. They open a book for 30 minutes. Study hard, close the book, and then spend the other 23.5 hours of the day in complete silence, at least in English. No wonder progress feels slow. If you want English to feel natural, it needs to live inside your normal day, not just your study time. And here's the good news, you don't need a partner, a classroom, or a perfect moment to do this. While you're making coffee, describe it in your head. The water's boiling. I'm adding the coffee. It smells really good this morning. While you're walking to your car, narrate it. It's a bit cold today. I need to hurry, traffic's going to be heavy. While you're scrolling your phone before bed, comment on what you see. This video's funny. I didn't expect that ending. None of these sentences are complicated. That's exactly the point. You're not trying to sound impressive. You're trying to build a habit. And habits are built through repetition, not difficulty. Pick 3 moments in your day, right now, before you keep watching. Maybe it's your morning routine, your commute, and your dinner. Decide that during these 3 moments, your inner voice speaks English. Even broken English. Even simple English. This one habit, repeated daily, will do more for your fluency than months of passive studying. Part 3. Change your relationship with mistakes. Let's talk about the real reason most people stay silent. It's rarely about not knowing enough words. It's almost always about fear. Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of embarrassing themselves in front of others. Here's something worth remembering. Every fluent speaker you admire went through a phase of sounding awkward in English. Nobody skips that phase. Nobody. The people who eventually became fluent aren't the ones who avoided mistakes. They're the ones who kept speaking despite the mistakes. A mistake isn't proof that you're bad at English. A mistake is proof that you're actually using English, which is more than most silent learners can say. If your grammar's wrong but your message is understood, communication happened. That's the actual goal. Not perfect grammar. Communication. Try this mental trick. Every time you make a mistake while speaking, instead of feeling embarrassed, say quietly to yourself, "Noted. Fixing that next time." Then keep talking. Don't stop the sentence. Don't apologize 5 times. Just notice, adjust, and continue. And if you forget a word mid-sentence, don't stop talking. Describe it instead. Forgot the word umbrella? Say, the thing we use when it rains. Forgot calculator? Say, the small device we use for numbers. This is a real skill fluent speakers use constantly. It's called paraphrasing, and it keeps conversations moving, even when your vocabulary has gaps. Part 4. Reduce the translation step in your head. Many learners understand English perfectly when they read or listen, but freeze when they need to speak. Why? Because in their mind, they're running 2 processes at once. First, they think in their native language. Then, they translate that thought into English. Then, finally, they speak. That's a lot of steps for one sentence. And honestly, it's exhausting. The fix isn't translating faster. The fix is skipping the translation step completely, and training your brain to form thoughts directly in English, at least for simple things. Start small. Choose one activity today, just one, and think about it only in English while you do it. Making tea. Think, the water's hot. I need 2 spoons of sugar. This smells nice. Getting dressed. Think, this shirt looks good. I need my jacket. It might rain later. These aren't advanced thoughts. They're simple, almost childish sentences. And that's exactly why they work. You're teaching your brain a new default setting, thinking directly in English for basic situations, instead of routing everything through translation first. Over time, expand this. Try narrating your entire morning routine in English, inside your head. Then try describing your plans for the day. The goal isn't speed at first. The goal is a direct connection, thought and English word arriving together, without a translation step in between. Speed comes naturally once that connection is built. Part 5. You don't need a partner to practice speaking. This is probably the most common excuse learners give themselves. I have nobody to practice with. There's no one around me who speaks English. Here's the truth, you don't need another person to train your mouth to produce English sounds. You need repetition. And repetition can happen alone. Talk to yourself. Seriously. Stand in your room and describe what you see around you. There's a bag on the chair. My phone's charging. The window's open. Feels strange at first, right? But it's training your mouth and your brain at the same time, without any social pressure at all. Use a mirror. Look at yourself and explain your day out loud, like you're telling a friend about it. Your face, your expressions, your voice, all become part of the practice. And slowly, hearing yourself speak English stops feeling weird. Record your voice. Open your phone, set a 2-minute timer, and talk about anything, your weekend, your favorite meal, your goals for this month. Then listen back. Don't judge yourself harshly. Just notice, where did you pause? Which word took too long to find? What would you say differently next time? This one habit, repeated weekly, shows you real progress. And that progress is what keeps you motivated to keep going. You can even interview yourself. Ask a question out loud, then answer it. What did I do today? I finished a project, and I practiced English for 15 minutes. What's my goal this week? I want to speak for 5 minutes without stopping. Real conversations are built from questions and answers, so practicing this pattern alone prepares you for real conversations with others. Part 6. Turn single sentences into small stories. Once short sentences start feeling comfortable, the next step is connecting them. Because real speaking rarely stops at one sentence. In real conversations, you describe events, you explain reasons, you add small details. This is where storytelling practice becomes useful. And honestly, it's easier than it sounds. Pick any small event from your day and tell it as a mini story, out loud, in 3 or 4 connected sentences. This morning I woke up late. I had to rush to get ready. I almost forgot my keys, but I found them just in time. Now I'm finally sitting down to relax. Notice how each sentence connects to the next one. That connection is what makes speaking sound natural instead of robotic. Do this with anything, a meal you ate, a show you watched, a small problem you solved. The topic doesn't matter. What matters is practicing the flow between sentences, because that flow is exactly what disappears when people freeze during real conversations. Here's a simple weekly challenge. Choose one small event each day and turn it into a 30-second spoken story before you sleep. By the end of the week, you'll notice something interesting. Connecting sentences feels less like effort and more like habit. Part 7. Track your progress, so your brain believes it's working. One quiet reason learners give up is that progress in speaking feels invisible, day to day. You don't usually notice a difference between Monday and Tuesday. But add up 30 days, and the difference becomes obvious, if you have proof. This is why recording yourself regularly matters so much. Keep your very first recording, the awkward one, the one full of pauses. Then, every 2 weeks, record yourself again on the same simple topic, your day, your goals, your favorite food. Don't delete the old recordings. After a month, listen to the first recording and the newest one, back to back. You'll hear it. Fewer pauses. Faster word retrieval. More natural rhythm. That comparison becomes proof that your daily effort is actually working. And that proof is what keeps motivation alive when progress feels slow in the moment. You can also keep a short note, just a few words after each practice session. Today, talked about my weekend, forgot the word schedule, used it 3 times after looking it up. These tiny notes build a record of exactly which words and situations still trip you up, so your next practice session has direction instead of being random. Let's bring it all together. Honestly, none of these ideas are magic tricks. They're simple habits. But simple, repeated daily, beats complicated, done occasionally, every single time. You don't need to apply all 7 parts today. Just choose one. Maybe it's speaking to yourself for 2 minutes tonight. Maybe it's narrating your morning coffee tomorrow. Maybe it's recording that first awkward voice note you'll laugh at in a month. Pick one action, and actually do it, before you close this video. Because watching a video about speaking English isn't the same as speaking English. The people who improve aren't the ones who watch the most content. They're the ones who take the smallest actions, consistently, starting from exactly where they are right now, not from some imagined future version of themselves who already speaks perfectly. If you're worried this feels like too much to remember, here's the short version. Speak before you feel ready. Bring English into ordinary moments, not just study time. Treat mistakes as information, not failure. Think directly in English for simple things, without translating first. Practice alone without waiting for a partner. Connect sentences into small stories. And keep a record, so you can see the proof of your own progress. None of this needs money. None of it needs a classroom. None of it needs another person standing next to you. It only needs a decision, made today, to stop waiting for a perfect moment that was never actually coming. If this video helped you see things differently, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more learners just like you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time, because we post practical lessons like this regularly, and you don't want to miss the next one. Before you go, I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me this: what's the one thing that stops you from speaking English out loud, even when you're alone? Is it fear of mistakes? Lack of words? Something else? Write it down below. I read every comment, and your answer might help someone else watching this video feel a little less alone. Thank you for watching. Keep practicing. And I'll see you in the next one.